Hi, I'm Dawn Priolette. Today I would like to do some EFT tapping with you. For those of you who are going back into the workplace for whatever reason, but you're having to get a job, and maybe your experience with a job hasn't always been such a positive one. Maybe you've had a lot of jobs that you really didn't like, and so you're a bit nervous about taking another job because you're afraid you won't like it, you're afraid you're going to feel trapped, you're afraid it's going to be just awful, and yet you feel like financially it's something that you kind of have to do. So I'd like to do some tapping with you on that conflict. So if you just start with me by tapping right here on the karate chop point, and just repeat after me, either out loud or in your mind. Even though I guess I really do have to go and get a job in order to straighten out my financial situation, it's really going to be necessary for me to get a job. And even though there's a part of me that wants to do this because I want to get things straightened out financially, there's another part of me that's really nervous because I'm thinking it's going to be awful. I mean, I've had jobs that were awful before, and I really am afraid of getting stuck in another one of those god-awful jobs. And even though I feel this way, and even though I have all these fears, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I am really nervous about getting a job. Well, one thing, I'm afraid of being rejected, but then there's another part of me, what if I do get the job? And what if I hate it? What if it turns out that I feel like I'm in a prison? What if it feels like it takes away all my freedom? And it's such a routine. I hate that. Even though I feel this way and I have all these fears, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have all these fears and misgivings about getting a job, even though I know it's something that I probably really need to do in order to straighten out my financial situation, I'm really afraid that this is going to be pretty unbearable. But I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Go to the top of the head. I'm really not looking forward to getting a job. Beginning of the eyebrow. I really kind of dread the whole idea of going back into the workplace. End of the eyebrow. I really have gotten used to having my own time and doing what I want when I want to do it, and I really don't think I'm going to fit in well in the workplace. Under the eye. Oh, I'm so afraid it's going to be boring. It's going to be boring. Under the nose. I hate the routine. I hate having to be somewhere when they tell me I have to be there. And most of all, I hate having to wait until they tell me I can take a vacation time. Chin. I'm really not looking forward to getting this job. Collarbone. I'm just not looking forward to this. Okay, let's do a positive round. Back to the top of the head. Even though I have all these fears about this job, what if this job could actually turn out to be something kind of cool? What if this job could actually turn out to be something, a situation where I could learn some things and make some new contacts? what if this JOB could not only help to get me out of debt and to help me get all my bills paid off, what if I could meet some really interesting people? What if I could actually make some really neat friends in this workplace? What if I could learn some new skills? What if having this job could actually make me feel more confident about myself? Okay, and let's just take a couple of deep breaths and relax a little bit. And you should have noticed, hopefully you're feeling a bit more relaxed about the whole idea of getting a job. And although you may have noticed a particular issue coming to the surface, a fear of something that either I mentioned and your mind really latched onto it, or it might have been something that I didn't even bring up. And in that case, you'll want to go back and, rate it on a scale from 0 to 10 as far as how intense it is, and do a round of tapping on it. For right now, I want to do another round of tapping, and we're going to acknowledge that we're feeling a bit better about this whole job situation, and see if we can get even some more positive feelings about it. So tap with me, even though I still have some reservations about getting this job, because I guess I'm afraid of the unknown. I'm really not sure how this is going to all turn out. But even though I feel this way, I know that as long as I feel calmer about this whole situation, I know the more calm I feel about it, the better decision I'm going to make, whether I choose to take any particular job or not. Even though I still feel a little reticent about taking a job, and maybe part of me resents the fact that I have to do so. I deeply and completely love and accept myself, and I choose to make this a positive learning experience, regardless of which job I choose. Even though there's still a part of me that has some misgivings about getting a job and what that might mean for my life, I choose to think about all the positive attributes that I would like to have in a job, the kind of people that I would want to work with, and the kind of people that I would want to get to know and to serve on this job. Top of the head, this remaining fear about getting a JOB, it's going to be awful. This remaining fear about getting a JOB. I can trust myself to make good decisions. This remaining fear about getting a job. Oh, it might not be that bad. This remaining fear about getting a job. It's going to help get me out of debt. It's going to help me get back on track. What if it actually turned out to be a really cool job? What if I ended up meeting the love of my life doing this job? What if I ended up meeting some really cool friends doing this job? So even though there's a part of me that has some misgivings about it, I know that by releasing the fear, I'm going to make the best possible decisions about what job I should take and what job I should forego. Take a couple of deep breaths. Okay, so that should be, to really get you started. Like I said, if something else came up, for example, I mentioned about resentment, about having to get a job in the first place. You might want to go back and measure from 0 to 10. How resentful do you feel after having done this tapping about having to get a job, because that might be something that you might want to go back and tap on as a separate issue if it's pretty strong. But anyhow, this should be a good start to get you going. And the whole object of this, for me, is any decision that you have to make, especially about a job, should come from a place of calm and peace rather than fear and worry. Because when we're afraid and worried about things, we make the worst decisions. So I hope that this will help you. And I'll see you in the next video.